What's good? It's your boy Bar back, Barry Alston Ray. Tonight is getting ready to get insane in the membrane. My boy, who we have on here tonight, he is an actor, but more than that, he is a phenomenal comedian that's traveled the country and stood toe-to-toe with some of the best. Welcome back to another episode of Locked In.
SIXN1 Entertainment, we off and running.
Thanks for, making time, to come on, this little humble beginnings, and chill with me. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Corey Marshall is in the building.
I'm glad to be here, man. It's all good. It's all good.
So what's going on with you? I ain't seen you in probably about a year now. What's good?
In person, we haven't seen each other in a minute, but I see you all the time on TV, man. You've been doing them appearances, them cameos. You're killing it. You're killing it.
Why, thank you. But we're progressing from cameos to, starring roles with, with my name on trailers and stuff like that. You heard?
I dig it. That's the goal. That's the whole goal. We met on 7 Seconds, right?
They say great minds think alike, because that's exactly where I was going. So we met on the set of 7 Seconds with the phenomenal Regina King. What's up, Regina? And Russell Hornsby. I don't even remember how we linked and how we started chopping it up, but it just happened. Maybe you recall, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, well, being on set, you meet so many people, and it's just like you're in close vicinity with people. Not to say you don't connect with everybody, but you don't talk to everybody, I'm saying. But it's just that, you just had that little thing about yourself that's like, he looked like a decent brother, you know what I'm saying? So you say hi and stuff works out. You seem cool, and we just kept that going. And then, hey, that's where we at.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the standouts with you on 7 Seconds is that you had an on-screen wife.
No, see, that speaks to how much you have to control the narrative, because that's not true. You keep saying
so. What was it?
Wife. She was actually.
Okay, what was she?
Well, her decided that I was her nephew, and that was my aunt. But that's what I decided. I don't know what she told you, but I mean that was in my head. You know what I'm saying? But not the on-screen wife.
Well, I've seen her.
If she was, we definitely got divorced on that scene, because that was it.
I'm done. The funny thing is, I've seen her several times after. She always asks about, how's Mr. Marsh? How's Corey doing? So you definitely made an impression. You heard?
I mean, I always leave an impression that, I got to do that. But she was definitely interesting person. I can say that.
So one of the funny things I will put out there is we was doing, if you've seen 7 Seconds, there was several courtroom scenes. So there was a courtroom scene with him, Corey, and his on-screen wife, or on whatever the narrative is right now. They were sitting next to each other. Now, I'll admit, when we was filming, it was extremely hot. So his on-screen wife, or aunt, whatever the narrative is, fell asleep. This sucker duck recorded her and sent the videos of us sleeping and snoring in the courtroom on set. Yo, I was done. This dude is out of his daggone mind.
It's behind the scenes footage.
Of 7 Seconds. It was crazy. Yo, this dude is out of his mind. But yo, we definitely had some good times on 7 Seconds. So what else have you done other than 7 Seconds, television-wise?
Man, you know how it goes. It's, honestly, it's one of those things to where so much stuff comes through, you stop keeping track, Definitely had features on Luke Cage, shout out to them, the production team for putting me on.
We was on Luke Cage together. We was, that's right.
Yeah. That was a dope set, man. That was some really good nights. They showed a lot of love on that whole show, man. So I definitely thankful for that.
Shout out to Alfred Woodward. Love ya.
Yeah, what's cool, man? Like, it's always good, like, to be able to, like, work around those great actors and stuff like that, just to see how they work and how they move. Because, you know, like when you watch stuff on television, like a lot of people have no clue what goes on the other side of the camera, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what it's like between takes, you know what I'm saying? And just, they don't know. And it's just so cool. One of the joints that I remember, man, with what happened was she was doing the speech. We was at some center in Harlem. Scene was set up.
I was there.
And she was standing at the podium, you know what I'm saying, about to do her lines, and she stopped everybody. She was like, excuse me, can everybody please stop moving? You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought she was, no, not the actors. I'm talking about production. You're moving in the back. Can you please stop? I'm trying to concentrate. I'm trying to bring up some emotion. Can you please stop moving? You're distracting. Can you please take the phone call somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? And it was just cool just to see that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool to see him at work, and just that it kind of goes to show that it's more than just learning some lines and saying it. You know what I mean? But everything has to be in order, you know what I'm saying, to get that scene right. And so it's just always a pleasure to see work like that, you know what I mean?
And one of the things that people, like I tell people all the time, is that what we go through to bring them 60 or 90 minutes of entertainment goes a lot longer and a lot deeper than them 60 or 90 minutes. A lot. No, so a lot goes into it. But, you know, speaking of Alfie, we also on set one day, and this was hilarious. They always ask, you know, the staff and all the actors to turn their phones off. So Alfie was doing a speech, and this young lady's phone with her. Well, you know, there's always going to be multiple takes and stuff like that. Yeah. So Alfie was, you know, this was like maybe the 13th, 14th take, and you could tell this was going to be the one. And this young lady's phone went off, and the girl was so embarrassed. Alfie was like, "You can leave. You can leave." The girl stood there, and she was like, she told production, I'm not doing nothing until she leaves. And the girl had to be removed. But it was like, they tell everybody, turn your phone off. Don't even have your phone on you, but if you have it on, make sure it's on silent. But, you know, so yeah, we definitely had some time, of course, of filming these productions.
It's humbling work, man. It's humbling work, you know what I'm saying? Like just doing background, you know what I'm saying? Like where you're not even a thought in the production process to doing a feature work, and then getting to do some cameos and then lines. Like the whole progress, I'm saying, is dope. But just being like, I remember when I did my first background joint, you know, I was just so excited, man. You know, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be on TV. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Law and Order. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was everybody's first, because that was my first.
Okay. That must be like the initiation. You know what I'm saying? That has to be initiation for background artists. Like, if you're in New York, you're doing background, you got to do Law and Order. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first joint. That was my first joint. I was looking forward to it. Like, we filmed like hours, man. You know what I'm saying? I was telling everybody, like, yo, I got some camera time. I'm gonna be on Law and Order. It's gonna be dope. And this was my scene. You know how embarrassing that is?
Yeah, at least you got that. My first time, I didn't even get that, my dude. I ended up on the cutting room, on the editing room floor. But I had to check the show because I was there. You know what I'm saying?
And the funny part was, my mother, she called me. She was just like, I seen you on TV. I was like, you did? Yeah. I seen your scarf. She said, I seen your scarf. I was just like, yeah, that is true. That was my scarf.
Yo, I'm done. Only your mother. You heard? Only your mother. You understand what I'm saying?
Only your mother, yeah.
Let's talk about, you are one of the funniest dudes on the planet. One of the most underrated comedians, but yet still on the rise. Talk to me about when the whole comedian thing came about, you know, when it started, you know. Was it something that family has been passed down? Talk to us about that.
I've always been a fan of comedy. I've always loved watching television and movies, and I come from a fun family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do come from one of those families to where you look forward to the family gatherings because everybody's cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how to have a good time. And to be honest, I'm probably the least funniest person in my family.
Say word.
Yes, absolutely. Like when my family comes around, I'm the quiet one because I'm just sitting down, observing and laughing at everybody else.
So Nick, bro, you stealing material from the family?
You know what? It's not even that. It's not even that. I'm just enjoying the moment. And so I always grew up around entertainment. I grew up around entertaining personalities, I should say. So I've always exercised writing, that craft. Whether if it was through stories or stage plays, church productions, how church does something. I was the guy that was writing the church plays, stuff like that. And then so how comedy came about career-wise was I wasn't even thinking about doing it. I got divorced. I was divorced, and I went through one of those phases to where I needed to pick me up. And then so I said, you know what? I'm gonna just try some comedy. And instead of like whatever the normal steps are to doing comedy or breaking into the comedy scene, what I had no clue how to do it. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to reach out to. I said, I'll just do it and see what happens. What I did was I was living in Virginia at the time, and I rented a theater, and I said I'm gonna put on my own comedy show. And I sold 230 something tickets for that show. It was my first show. So 230 tickets, they came out. I did, honestly, it was a little bit over an hour and a half of comedy. And it was just me on the show. I had a good time. They had a good time. Somebody in the crowd was from Caroline's Comedy Club in New York. Just happened to be there, through friends of somebody who I knew. And they said, yo, that joint was funny. You should really pursue it. And I was just like, I don't know. And then from there, somebody introduced me to the Funny Bone Comedy Chain. And then so I went there like the next weekend to kind of meet up with the other comics. And then, we did like a little writing session, just talking about our material and stuff like that. And that's how I got bit by the comedy bug from that one moment. So I rented the theater, so tickets on my own, and kept it moving.
So one day you just had this epiphany to rent out a theater, and you started your own.
Yeah, that's how it happened. And honestly, it was all done. I was naive. I had no clue what to expect, and I will probably never do it that way again. And I don't recommend anybody doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because looking back, it was like so much stuff could have went wrong, but everything went right. So it was just reassuring to know that.
You rented this theater, didn't have nobody else on the bill, just you.
It was just me. Yeah, I didn't know any other comedians. Like I was not in the comedy world. I didn't even know any open micers. I didn't know anybody that was beginning to do comedy. I didn't have a relationship with any comedians at the time. So it was just like, I'll just do it and see what happens. If it doesn't work. And remember, I was just divorced. So it was just like, mentally, it was just like nothing can hurt me anymore than being divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how bad this show goes, I'm not going to be emotionally distraught like I am now because of this divorce. So I was cool.
How long was you married?
7 years. Married for 7 years. Yeah.
So I'm sure after 7 years, like you said, just being destroyed in so many different areas of your life, you just have to do something.
Well, hold on. I wasn't distraught for 7 years. We was married for 7 years.
I wouldn't say you were distraught, but that you.
Okay.
I'm saying
she was probably distraught for 7 years, but.
I'm saying after the marriage was dissolved. So this night that you had this one-man comedy show that you rented out the theater, sold over 200 tickets for. So what happened afterwards? Was there a new beginning, a new zeal for life, and then this pursuit of comedy? Talk to us about that.
I guess you can say it was a new zeal for life. It was a fresh perspective. I made that my purpose. So it was just like, okay, I can do this now. You know what I'm saying? And I made people laugh. It made me feel good. It was cathartic. I was good at it. And so I said, I'm going to see what happens. And then from there, like I said, I started going to the Funny Bone Comedy Club in Richmond, Virginia. Shout out to them. And networking with some comics at the time and starting from scratch, because I didn't know anything, honestly, about how to write a joke. I didn't know anything about proper joke structure. I was just winging it, and I got lucky. And then once I started learning the process, I was just like, wow. And I realized, you know what I'm saying, that I have a lot of room to grow. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, this is crazy. And then so it kind of just changed my whole mindset as far as understanding the craft and appreciating the craft. And then started going to open mics in Richmond, Virginia. And I was fortunate enough to have that kind of caliber comedy club, the Funny Bone. It's a really big chain. They do the Funny Bone and the Improv Comedy Club. So I was fortunate to have one of those venues in my town. So that's where I did most of my networking with a lot of comedians. And it probably took me about maybe a year of a lot of messing up to really get my own rhythm and start to really understand what I wanted to do. Still didn't reach it yet, but it gave me a good start. So it was like a year of just messing up and doing stuff. And then after the year, I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting the hang of how to do things this correct way. And so that's when I started getting, I guess, recognized more as a young comic. And then started getting more stage time at that club, started meeting other comedians, big names. And after maybe 4 years or so, it turned into, I just went full-time. I went full-time into comedy after 4 years. And this is year 11 for me, my 11th year. And I'm still considered a baby, honestly. Like I'm still a baby in comedy. So this is year 11.
So, a couple of things I want to address. So, what would you say to somebody that has gone through an experience that broke them or felt was traumatic, like a divorce, a relationship dissolved? What would you say to them, you going through what you went through as far as getting back on track and getting back your zeal for life? What would you say to them?
I would tell them that I'm the worst person to get advice from. That's what I would start the conversation off. I'm the worst person to get advice from. But I can say that I'll do this. One thing that helped me out, there was a lot of things. But one of the things that helped me out was I had a good circle of people around me. I was a member of a dope ministry, New Deliverance Evangelistic Church. Shout out to them. And my wife were actually members there, And so we knew a lot of married couples. I was close with a lot of married couples. And so when the divorce happened, my wife moved away. So it was just me at the church. And so I still had those same friends, same married couples, who we hung out with. Those are my friends. But it just so happened that a lot of those people were on their second marriage. And so that was the hope that I had. It was just like, yo, this is my second marriage, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always work out. And then I started to see, there is life after this, because my life was over, after that divorce. It was like there's no more, it was embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? Just being in the church and having to go through a divorce, it was embarrassing. I hurt my self-esteem, you know what I'm saying? It was just I don't feel like a responsible man to lose my marriage and stuff like that. So just going through all those emotions and meeting people around me who probably didn't know it, but they was a dope support system for me, you know what I'm saying? They was there. So I think one thing is to surround yourself with people that want you to do well, you know what I'm saying? That's a good key, because that helps you when you don't feel like doing it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of getting out of that emotional space It's work that you got to put in. It's work that I have to do, work that I got to put in. And sometimes we just don't feel like doing it. We feel like we don't have the strength to put ourselves out. We feel like we don't have the strength to keep pushing and keep moving. That's why it's important to have people on the outside in your circle to say, yo, you don't feel like it? Come on, man. We gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I still love you, blah, blah. Come on, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. How you doing? I'm checking up on you, blah, blah, blah. So it's like an accountability system of love, you know what I'm saying, that you definitely need around you. So that helped me out a lot. Also, it takes patience. It takes patience, you know what I'm saying? It sucks to be in that position, but it takes patience knowing that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with the way that you feel. Yes, you're hurt. Yes, you may have made a mistake. Yes, you failed. You failed. Yes, but you're not a failure. And you can sit with that. Sit with that. It's uncomfortable. You can cry, but it's fine. Do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't beat yourself up about it. And when you do that, I think you become aware of your emotional state, and then you also become aware that you don't have to stay that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm recognizing how I feel right now. I feel bad. I feel hurt. But now that I recognize that I'm doing this, I'm going to make a choice to not feel this way for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to direct my attention elsewhere. And then just going through those exercises, next thing I know, I looked up and it didn't hurt as much. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize when I got there. It was just like, you know, how like you're taking a long walk, you know what I'm saying? You know, you start off in the Bronx or whatever, and you just start walking, you cross a bridge, and next thing you know, you be like, yo, like, when did I end up in New Jersey? I had no idea I walked this far. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. You don't know when or how you overcame it, but one day you realize that it doesn't hurt like it used to. So that's what I would offer somebody.
Well, you know what? I think that's dope, and I think that's a point that definitely needs to be brought out. Because sometimes we go through stuff and we go try to carry on as business as usual, like it didn't affect us, like everything is going well. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. Sometimes we do just need to, you know, look at the situation and be like, you know, no, this is hurting me. This has affected me. You know, this has to be dealt with, instead of, you know, trying to camouflage it or, you know, shout over it, you know, and all that other stuff. Deal with it. Because once we deal with it, you know, it can start to take place. So, you know, I'm glad that, you know, you're in a better place now and that things are happening for you. So now one of the things is, you know, your comedy, I know you personally, and you are, you know, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't feel you was a funny dude because you're hilarious. And as I was looking through your stuff and your followers and your fans, you have some crazy fans in the sense of some very big names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what's unfortunate is that my account was deleted, man, by it was deactivated by Facebook and Instagram. So I mean, like, all those relationships, all those friends that I have, you know what I'm saying, is like, they not there now. So somebody goes on my social media now, they be like, you only got like 20 followers. Like, this dude is lying. Like, that's the reason. That's the reason. They deactivated my account. So I'm starting over right now. And this probably like, as of last week, I'm starting over. So
right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I was just fortunate enough to meet those people. And also, you know, I've been around it so long, like I don't want to say it's second nature. It's just so normal, you know what I'm saying, to be connected with people I used to watch on TV and say, you know, I wish that was me, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are my friends now. You know what I'm saying? We go to cookouts together, we call each other up on phones, and it's wild. It's wild.
One of the individuals that stood out, because I had known her and met her as a child, as a young man coming up, is none other than Miss Tashina Arnold.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, Tashina Arnold, Pam from Martin, and Rochelle from Everybody Hates Chris. Yes. Yeah.
Now, shout out to Tashina.
What's up, Tashina?
Now, what's cool about that is we have a mutual family. So it's like her godmother is also my sister's godmother. So that's how we know of each other, you know what I'm saying? So that was just a fluke, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's what's up. That's cool. You famous? Hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah. But that's how that happened.
When it comes to people that follow you and admire your work with big, who are some of the individuals that surprised you that they know who Corey Marshall is?
I think the biggest honorable mention, you know, it's so unfortunate that things are the way that they are, but was Bill Cosby. I was introduced and was backstage with Bill Cosby. I didn't drink anything. He didn't slip anything in my drink, thankfully. But
this nigga, yo, I'm done.
I don't have that story.
No, you don't got that story. I'm sure somebody does though.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. But when I actually met him, he did say that he said, man, he's to be all right. So I don't know how many people ever like had an actual conversation with Bill Cosby, but it was a weird conversation because one, I really didn't understand what he was saying, and I was just like, oh my God, like what is he talking about? You know, he really does talk like you imagine him talking, like that's how he talks. And then he did say, he said, I am paraphrasing because I have to. He said, you're funny. And he said, you're gonna have a hard time growing your career being as nice as you are. And then he said, it's gonna take a long time to get to whatever goal you're trying to get because you're not a mean comic. So it'll take you longer. And then he said, but you'll get there. And then he said, they didn't tell me that you was bald. That's what he said. I have no idea I didn't know if I was supposed to grow hair after that or what, but that's, you know, one of the things he said. So that was pretty cool, you know, to get those words from Mr. Cosby.
So nobody told Bill that you was bald?
Apparently not. And I don't know if that's something that comes up in conversations all the time. Like, you got to meet this young guy, like he has hair and I don't want to meet him, you know what I'm saying? But he's bald. Okay, whatever. I don't know how it will come up, but that was something that he stated.
Well, that's some smoke we need to investigate. You know, we're going to come back on that.
You know what? Let's don't look any further. Let's don't look any further. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to find out that he has
all locked in. You heard? We're going to get to the bottom of that. That's a fact. So,
yeah. He got enough heat on him. He got enough heat on him besides his preference.
Listen, they say all publicity is good publicity. I'm just saying. But because you're very different, you're in your own lane. But I want to know, like, okay, like your comedy, what are you basing on? And is there like certain areas that you won't touch on? Is there, you draw talk to us, like, you know?
Yeah, it's always interesting to, I think, talk about that comedy because I don't really think it's the only conscious. All right, so I try to put myself in a position to where whatever I'm talking about, I'm believing what I'm saying. It's my point of view. It's what I really feel. That way I don't have any issues or I don't have to backpedal on any jokes or anything like that. Like, I would hope to rarely ever say, I was just joking. I didn't really mean it like that. It was a joke. So everything that I say, actually, I'm meaning what I'm saying. You know, like I decided to take on the challenge of doing it this way, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it relates to me more, you know what I'm saying? So most of my comedian efforts is pretty much based off of society, social issues. I do talk about, touch on social issues, race, not so much in the typical black people do this, white people do this, but more in a social economical way, you know? That's more of my comedy, observations as well. So that's what I kind of touch on. Of course, I build off situations or things that happen in my own life. So a lot of that is in there, of course, but that's mainly my comedy. And so all that comes along with finding your voice, you know, as an artist, finding your voice in comedy, finding your voice as an artist. So that's just something that, a decision I made a while ago, you know what I'm saying, to kind of pursue in craft. And that's what actually helped my career. Matter of fact, my first, I guess, big jump in comedy was, I was open for a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people. I guess one of the big breaks I had was with, I think it was around like I don't know what year it was. Anyway, it was after NBC had the show Last Comic Standing. And season 8, comedian Rodman won that. And so he was doing his victory tour. And he just happened me booked at my comedy club, my home club. And I opened for him. And then so after the show, he was just like, yo, you mad funny. He said, would you mind working with me? And I was just like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. And so we exchanged numbers. And being an entertainer, you hear that all the time. You know what I'm saying? People
That's a fact.
I gotta work for you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you on, blah, 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 blah. So it was just like, at this time, it was just like, all right, cool. If he calls. If not, I'm not tripping, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not upset. And then so it was probably like, it was after he won, and maybe like a month later, like he calls, he's just like, yo, Corey. I was like, yeah, here's this Rob, man. I'm just like, yeah, what's up? He was just like, yo, you ready? I'm just like, for what? He was just like, about to hit the road. And I'm just like, you for real? He was like, yeah. I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. So Rob, man, was the one that actually put me on heavy into like a lot of the big comedy clubs, like, and then part of his victory tour. And it was me and Rob, man, we did a 2-man show. And we went to like every state, and we was together for probably touring for like two years. It was like a 2-year tour. And then so like he really helped me get to that next level. And so like with networking with clubs and stuff like that, and you know, arranging stuff out. And then it just kind of just took a whole other thing. Then I started getting more behind the scenes with writing, exercising that, screenplays and stuff like that. Then did some networking. And it's kind of funny, you know, like I really didn't realize there was so many other writing opportunities other than doing stand-up. You know what I'm saying? And once I in it, I was just like, oh, so I can write for this and I can write for this. And then so that's when I started getting into a writing gig. And then I eventually moved back to New York, and that's where I'm at.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna throw out some names.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you think of them. You know, listen, no bars here.
I hate this already, man. I hate this already.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. It's only gonna get better. I promise you.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, express what you feel. You know, what comes to your mind when I throw these names out. All right.
All right.
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, man. Oh man, big fan of Martin Lawrence. No doubt has a proven track record of hustling his career. I remember watching him, of course, House Party, even on show a rerun, and what was that show? What's happening? He was in What's Happening. Yeah. Look it up. That's I saw. Yeah, he was in that. And that's when, you know, I'm positive he was in What's Happening. He was in the reboot. Well, not the reboot, but remember it came on again, like it was updated, and Shirley had the diner or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, Dee was all grown and cute looking. Like it was he was in there. He was in the later episodes. Martin Lawrence. But ever since then, like, he has a proven track record, man, of doing this thing. I'm a fan of his acting ability. He's no doubt has brought many laughs. I never met Martin Lawrence. Never met him.
All right. On to the next one. Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish is a hard worker, man. Hard worker. I got no gripes with Tiffany, man. Got no gripes with Tiff, man. Yeah, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing. She's definitely an example of you put in the work and keep putting in the work will come to you. And that's what happened. And now she's doing things the right way. She's making her own deals. She's calling her shots, and she's making her own deals now. So, and that's to be honest, and so like, and I wish it's like that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like I wish nothing but that much success for everybody. You know what I'm saying? To get in that position to where you can still do what you want to do. Not do what you want to do, but do what you love doing, regardless of the feedback that you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many people don't really care for Tiffany Haddish just stand up, but she still does stand up, and she still gets paid off it, and she still has doors open to her, and she's opening doors to other people because she's still doing what she feels that she should be doing. And so that's like, shout out to a person like that no matter how bad people think you are, keep pursuing your passion. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if she would have stopped because somebody said she sucked. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if she stopped because she listened to the critics that don't like her comedy. Whether or not you think she's funny or not, it kind of has nothing to do with what you like, because it's her life. You know what I'm saying? It's true. It's her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be as critical as you want. Like, imagine if she listened to everybody else. So I mean, hey, that, you know, that's just a message. You know what I'm saying? If somebody listening now has a passion for doing something, and it's often compared to being subpar or not good, but if you feel confident in your work, keep doing it. You never know. So, yo, shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Tiffany. I had the privilege of working with her a couple of times. Dope. She's dope. This is gonna be good.
All right. What you got?
Richard Pryor. Talk to me.
Richard Pryor. Dope comic, man. Like, I mean, to say anything else would be sacrilegious against, you know, the entertainment world. Now, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest. I got on.
That's what we want here.
I got on to Richard Pryor late, man. Like, I knew about him, of course, you know, because my parents listened to him, whatever. But I didn't have exposure to Richard Pryor, to his comedy, because my parents wouldn't let me listen to him or whatever. But I used to have to sneak and watch Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? They loved comedy, so I would have to sneak and watch. But I really wasn't exposed to Richard Pryor as much as other mainstream comics. But I was always watching him when he did his movies, him and Gene Wilder, you know what I'm saying? Like Stir Crazy and all the other movies he did. Like, I watched all of those, and I knew he was a comedic actor, but I didn't really know he was a stand-up comic until later, because I always seen him I always seen him acting, you know what I'm saying? I remember him in Superman, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the black guy's in Superman, he's pretty funny. I remember that, but I never noticed him. I never recognized him as a comedian until years later. I was older, and then I recognized that you know, the work that he put in wasn't just in acting, you know what I'm saying? It was comedy, it was writing, it was acting, it was activism. So he's all of that. I appreciate Richard Pryor. A lot of things, man, like talking to, like, especially I would say younger cats. I'm 42, so like a lot of young cats in the game look at Richard Pryor, look at his old sets, and they say that he wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not funny. Da da da. And people get upset, but I can see their point of view, because what they failed to realize was the time frame he was doing this comedy in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't understand the things that were at stake when he was doing this comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the reasons things are different now for you. You know what I'm saying? Because he was doing it this way, and this is why things are this way, you know what I'm saying, because of him. You know what I'm saying? Looking back and the things he was talking about, he was the first to address certain things, you know what I'm saying, that's widely addressed now, which is why I can see them saying, oh, well, I've heard this before. Yeah, you heard it before because they got it from him. Like, this is the guy who they got it from, you know what I'm saying? So just to speak on Richard Pryor, he's definitely one of my favorite comedians because of the era that he came up in and performed in this content that he addressed, the topics that he touched, and the way he presented them during that time period. So much was at stake, you know what I'm saying? And he did it, and that's what I remember.
You know, the thing is, everybody loved Richard. You know what I mean? He was definitely cutting edge, and he had a big heart. I remember Patti LaBelle talking about when she left LaBelle and went solo, and because, you know, Patti is the singer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she can sing.
She sang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patti LaBelle. You know, and nobody wanted to hire her as an opening act, because who really wants to sing behind Patti? And it was Richard Pryor that booked her and took her on tour, and she would sing before he got up to do his comedy.
Okay, wow. That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, you know, shout out to Richard Pryor, man.
Yes, the legacy.
And matter of fact, like when I was touring, I kept his DVD Up in Smoke. That was Live in Smoke. I think it was Live in Smoking. The comedy special he did at one of the improvs. Before I performed, like hours before I went on stage, I would watch his DVD. Not because it was just phenomenal comedy, but just a lot of people say that wasn't his best set, you know, but it's debatable. The reason I watch it was because it reminds me, which is, I'll get my thoughts. One of the things about my style of comedy, which is kind of different, is that I'm not an energetic comic. Like I just stand at the microphone and I talk, and I'm not scared of it being quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like I make them laugh, and I wait for it to calm down. You know, some comics, once they laugh, they keep riding that wave, blah, 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 and they keep it, blah, 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 blah. But me, it's just like, I hit the punch, and I wait, get all the laughter out, wait for it to get silent. Then I start talking again with my setup, blah, 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 start the whole process over again, you know what I'm saying? And that works for me, and that's why I stand out a lot, because people are like, yo, like, dude, like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of got that from watching Richard Pryor work during that set, because he took time with his thoughts, and sometimes the crowd didn't laugh, but he didn't let it take them. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the jokes wasn't hitting like they should, but he kept his composure and he kept rolling. And then so that's one of the things that I actually studied about Richard Pryor.
That's what's up. So, question. Out of all the comedians that's out right now, male and female,
okay,
if you had your choice, Corey's choice, to work with one of them right now, who would it be?
To be honest, this is going to sound real stupid. I don't know. I worked with a lot of people already, man, and like, if I had the choice, I really appreciate, to be honest, this is going to sound real crazy. I think I would hit up with my boy Jai Fuller. Jai Fuller, my homeboy comic in Richmond, Virginia. And me and him, we actually have a podcast together. And the reason I say his name was because me and him started comedy at the same time. So it was just like, if I have a choice, no matter what stage I'm on, he's gonna be there with me, you know what I'm saying? And so like, he's a phenomenal comic in his own right, totally different style. He's
out of his mind.
Now, Jai is the dude that'll like to show up, because he has no filter, and he just kind of just spit stuff out, you know what I'm saying? And we have pretty much a dichotomous style of comedy, you know what I'm saying? That's why we kind of go together. But if there's anybody who I want to perform with first pick would be Jaja Tola. That's my boy. And if he's not available, I'll go with Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And why?
If Jaja is not available.
Why Dave Chappelle? And I love Dave. For real.
Yeah. I just like I can understand his mindset and his thinking, and how he tackles social issues, and he got to the point to where in his career to where people trust him on stage now. You know, he got to the point to where he can talk about touchy subject matters, and you go along with it because you know Dave Chappelle can deliver it, as opposed to you being at another show with a comic who you don't know and is talking about a touchy issue and you have no idea where they're going, and you're nervous and you're in your seat and you're uncomfortable because you don't know if the punchline is going to be worth it, or even if there is a punchline. You know what I'm saying? But Dave Chappelle got to the point to where he's proven that he's a master of his craft, you know what I'm saying? And whatever he's saying has a punchline to it and a purpose. You may not agree with it, but it's going to be funny, you know what I'm saying? So that's one reason why I'm a Dave Chappelle fan.
That's what's up.
As well as many others, a whole bunch of people. I got to mention Godfrey. Shout out to Godfrey. Funny dude, hilarious dude. Showed me much love. Showed me much love through my career. So shout out to him. You know, who's funny as well.
So I want to shift gears for a second, and then I'm gonna come back. You're a black man in 2020 in America, and you're a comedian. With all the things that are going on right now, what is your take on it? What's your feelings on it? And what needs to be done?
A lot needs to be done, and a lot is being done. Yeah, it's just kind of weird, man, you know, and I don't know, hopefully I answer the question. I may not. If I get the rambling, please stop me. But it's at the point to where growing up, you hear history, you see history of the civil rights movements and just the unfolding of Black culture. And you kind of just think, wow, like, I'm happy I didn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I would have made it. And you think everything is good and lovey-dovey, you know what I'm saying? So 2020 really came in hard. And not to say those things haven't been going on before, but again, in the age of social media, we're being bombarded with instances and horrible things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're seeing more racism now. If you didn't experience it, all right. So it's kind of like you experience it. You experience those things on your own in your circle. You know what I'm saying? The people around you, y'all share those experiences, and y'all kind of take it in stride. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. Enough is enough. Blah blah blah. Keep moving on. But now the social media is in the picture. You hearing somebody else's story. You know what I'm saying? That they experienced this, and it's just like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, dog, for real. And it's just hitting more senses. Like, it's not just an isolated thing that happens to you. It's not an isolated thing that's happened to your circle, but it's happening to everybody who has this melanin in their skin. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many instances of injustice all over. And so we're getting hit with it over and over again. So we're more aware of it because it's in front of our faces. You know what I'm saying? We can't hide it. You know what I'm saying? If we're not talking about it, somebody else is talking about it. Somebody else is posting it. So it's everywhere. And it's a realization that I am a Black man. You know what I'm saying? And people see me as that. And whatever their definition or whatever their mindset is of how they view Black people, that's how they view me. So during this time, it's like, it's in everybody's face now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dishonesty. Thank God we're filming the police. Thank God we're getting more than just small snippets of the brutality, but we're getting the full story. You know what I'm saying? From the time the car gets pulled over to the funeral, everything is filmed. You know what I'm saying? It's in front of our faces. We're more engaging with each other, with people who we would never talk to because of social media. You know what I'm saying? Like a racist in Texas is texting me, he don't like my brown skin, and I'm in New York. You know what I'm saying? All through social media. So the racism is spreading. The love is spreading as well. That's a good thing. And so it's an experience that, to say I don't want it to happen would be a lie. I think it's a privilege to be alive during this time and be a part of this movement. It's an absolute privilege. You know what I'm saying? To have an understanding that my family members and people that came before me went through a struggle and they overcame it for my life to be better. And then so it's a privilege for me to not be so comfortable and to continue that movement. You know what I'm saying? So that my nephew's life can be better, so that my son's life can be better, my niece's life can be better, and their children could be better. So it's a blessing and a privilege, man, to be a part of this movement with these smart Black minds and these people that I'm saying that these people that are now, we're coming together, you know what I'm saying? We're understanding that it is a fight and we need each other to do this, you know what I'm saying? Just over the past couple months, all the efforts that everybody's been putting in, the different cities coming together, and the unity, even if it's temporary, you know what I'm saying? Like we're seeing the results of that. And that's one thing that you can't deny, you know what I'm saying? And it just feels good to be on that right side of history, knowing that I'm doing something or that you're doing something to help this movement. That's how I feel right now.
Wow. Okay, excellent. I got, when I promoted and was telling people that she was going to be on the show, some questions came in that I want to ask you before we sign out of here. Now, one of them was already answered. Young lady wanted to know your age. I know you said that you was 42.
42, yeah.
And when is your birthday?
September 13th, 1977. I'm a Virgo.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that may be the next question. Like, what's your zodiac?
So, are you single?
I am definitely single, and I rock a pinky ring.
Whatever that means. So
it means right now I have no intentions of pursuing a marriage relationship.
And why is that?
Because right now I'm learning from my previous relationships that I'm focusing on my career, and I probably can't do it now, but at the time I didn't properly know how to balance career and relationship enough for it to nurture the relationship. So I'm just being honest with myself and whoever I meet that, we could be friends. We could
smash.
Well, not even, to be honest, like I'm that dude that's just like, do we gotta smash? You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's just
wow.
Yeah.
Let's stay there for a minute, because one of the things I was discussing with one of my guests, John Williams, who is a world-renowned dancer, is that people look at us in this business and think that we're thoughts, think that we're hoes.
Yeah.
And just say, you are totally opposite. Well, we all express that we're opposite, but explain, that stigma and your stand on that.
I don't know. Like, I mean, to be honest, here's the deal. Like, I have indulged, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's more so the way my upbringing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the spiritual aspect,
and also just the fear of doing wrong, even from my parents finding out, you know what I'm saying? Just like, if they found
at 42 years old?
Hey, when you come from my family, man, like, law enforcement family, district missionaries, bishops, and all that stuff, man.
Come on here. Kojic.
Kojic, man. We Kojic, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not, honey, I'm
So it's just kind of different. But there's no excuse because, I mean, I know a lot of people that still do what they want. I'm just talking about for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted a real relationship. So that's one thing I always pursue. And I was always a person that if I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm picky anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just mad picky. Like a lot of my homeboys, like whenever we in a group, there's a couple of us like this is what they said. They said, "Yo, this is what Corey is." He said, a lot of other guys in the group, they look for reasons to sleep with a girl. They said Corey looks for one reason not to sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm not that dude, man. Like I love my body, never got a complaint. I'm just careful about who I share my body with. So I ain't interested in just jumping and straight smashing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind waiting. It's just all on how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And I had plenty of relationships too, to where, you know, a lot of people was upset, you know, that we didn't get to that level. But it's just, you know, I'm cool. Like I just like the friendship thing and I'll leave the other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I have indulged, especially on the road, you know what I'm saying? But it's not always, it's not the best. And it's just like, whatever. But that ain't what motivate me.
Well, that, you know, I'm grateful that, you know, you felt comfortable enough to discuss that. Because like I said, we get dealt such a stigma being in the business and being, you know, in the forefront and having access, you know, to so many and to masses. And that a lot of times women don't think that we have standards, you know, and it's quick to label us as a dog. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I was able to prepare an avenue where this can be expressed and shown that all men are not that way, and that we do have morals, principles, and spiritual aspects that we do, you know, abide by and work to abide by. So I appreciate you that on that, bro. So,
and also too, just on the flip side of that, it depends on who you talk to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure I dated somebody and they still think I'm a dog. So I mean,
that's that.
And so I mean that's. And I really don't think it's my space to say that I am or I'm not a dog. Like, I'll let you make that call. If you think I am, then that's the side that you caught me in. Sorry about that. And there's plenty others that can say the opposite. So I'm just at your mercy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not tripping. I'm just trying to do the best that I can. And your perception of me, that's your burden. And I'm sorry if I've hindered that from you, but if you think I'm a dog, sorry you caught me in that moment. I apologize. So I probably am.
Wow. What can we expect from Corey Marshall coming out of this quarantine and things getting back to some sort of normal? What can we expect from you?
What can you expect from me? I just finished a writing project on a video game. It's called Hunt Down. Shout out to the Trigger Games that put it together. It's called Hunt Down. It's out now for Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation. You can look it up. They put me on that project to write a lot of stuff, so I appreciate that. I have my own comic book series that's out. It's called A Madman Tale. That's out digitally. We're still working with some publishers to see who is the best fit. And honestly, right now, with everything going on, we're trying to look for a Black-owned publisher, and if not, a Black-owned printer. So we're doing that right now. But it's stories kind of along the lines of it's a horror anthology that kind of like Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt type of stuff, but it deals with social issues from a Black perspective. And the thing that's dope about it, one, I wrote it, which is extremely dope.
Where can everybody find this comic?
You can, if you go to my website, CoreyMarshall.com. CoreyMarshall.com. There's a link on there that'll take you to a lot of other stuff.
Support it.
Support it, please.
Corey, we appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Yo, I thank y'all. Check me out next week. We had a great time tonight with Corey Marshall. Yo, check this out. You know what? I've just been locked in. Peace. Love y'all.